Everybody has a different reaction to a president's State of the Union address. Here at Gallup, we like to look at it in terms of American public opinion. Now, to be sure, the president and his staff do not write a State of the Union address being totally oblivious to public opinion. If they don't study polls, at least they are aware in general of where the public stands in today's environment, where there's lots of public opinion data available. But let's look at President Barack Obama's speech from January the 24th in the light of public opinion. First off, we can say that all of our data had shown prior to the speech that Americans wanted him to talk about jobs. In fact, when we gave Americans a choice, well over 6 in 10 said that that should be the priority for the president. Sure enough, a word chart published by the Wall Street Journal the morning after showed that the word jobs was the most frequent word that the president used. So indeed, he did follow the American public's opinion on that dimension. Now, on a number of other proposals, the president also was in sync with American public opinion. In fact, we are doing an analysis of all of the various points that he made, or at least the major ones, and then we're going to juxtapose that with public opinion and publish it here at Gallup.com. You'll want to look at that to get some in-depth review of how his speech fits in with public opinion. But let me just mention a few things. First of all, you may have noticed the president referred to the military frequently, particularly at the beginning and the end of the speech. Well, look at those data in front of you there. Confidence in the military is the highest of any institution we test. Americans right now are very positive about the military, so it behooves any president to talk a lot about his connection with the U.S. Armed Forces. He also, as one of his proposals, as another example, talked about giving companies incentives to bring manufacturing jobs back from overseas. Well, look at the data in front of you there. 82% of Americans in a poll we conducted the night before the speech said they favor that type of proposition. The president also talked about pressuring China to loosen some of the restrictions which would help Americans' import-export procedures in terms of American goods. Well, look at the data there in front of you. You see that Americans, at least a significant majority, say they favor that proposition as well. The president talked about spending money to train Americans so they'll be better suited for today's jobs. Well, we have 3/4 of Americans who favor that. The president talked about spending more money to develop alternative energy sources. Well, a majority of Americans favor that. And this has been shown in our polling for quite a while now, the president renewed his call for higher taxes on the wealthy. And indeed, every way we ask that question, including the wording you see in front of you from Monday night, shows that at least 60% of Americans, and often more, say they favor increasing taxes on higher income Americans. So in the general scope of things, on a proposal by proposal basis, most of what the president talked about in his speech does in fact comport with American public opinion. Whether Americans will like the overall emphasis in the speech on using the government to ameliorate society's problems, of course, is another matter. I'm Dr. Frank Newport, Gallup Editor-in-Chief.